Fear, it's primal, it's powerful. A person can use it to exert control over you. Tonight, we step into the shadows of the human mind and uncover how fear is weaponized, how it shapes behavior, and most importantly, how you can fight back. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to Dark Psychology for You. I'm Dr. Watson, and tonight we will be discussing fear. Fear is an emotional and physiological response to a perceived threat. It's a survival mechanism hardwired into our brains. The amygdala, our brain's fear center, activates when danger is near, flooding the body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart pounds, your muscles tense, and your breath quickens. This is the response known as fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. But here's the twist. Fear isn't just about survival. Fear can be manipulated. For example, let's say that you are walking alone at night and hearing footsteps behind you. Your heart races, your breath quickens, and your body prepares for danger, whether real or imagined. On a person, there are physical clues such as dilated pupils or scanning an area rapidly with their eyes. Other signs are rapid breathing, your muscles ready to fight or flee, and stammering speech. When in fear mode, your brain is struggling to form words because it's in survival mode, not thinking mode. Understanding these signs doesn't just help you recognize fear in others, it helps you recognize when it's being triggered in you. For example, imagine a job interview where your hands tremble, your voice shakes, and your mind goes blank. That's fear in action. Your brain perceives the situation as a threat. In other words, an everyday situation may feel like a danger to your well-being. If you find this information helpful so far, now would be a perfect time to give Dark Psychology for You a thumbs up and ring that bell so that we can continue to share this valuable information to you for free. Now, where was I? I believe that we were discussing the power of fear. Fear is a tool of control. Governments, media, and even individuals use fear to manipulate emotions, decisions, and actions. Leaders use fear to push agendas, whether it's fear of outsiders, crime, or economic collapse. The more scared you are, the more easily you comply. Here is an example for you. After a terrorist attack, leaders often use fear to justify increased surveillance or restrictive policies, making people accept limitations on personal freedoms in exchange for safety. Fear in the media sensationalizes news, keeps you glued to the screen, addicted to updates, and paralyzed by uncertainty. An example of this could be the constant coverage of a potential stock market crash, which could lead people to panic sell investments, even when long-term stability appears likely. Fears in relationships are not any better. Toxic partners or bosses use fear, such as threats, emotional withdrawal, and silent treatments, to control your behavior. A controlling partner might threaten to leave if you don't act a certain way, making you afraid of abandonment and more likely to comply with their demands. When fear takes hold, rational thinking shuts down. You stop questioning, you react instead of analyzing, and that's exactly what manipulators want. If fear is a weapon, then knowledge is your shield. Here are some suggestions on how to fight back. The first step involves pausing, naming the fear and uttering it aloud. When you feel fear creeping in, say it out loud. I feel fear because... Naming emotions helps disarm the emotion. For example, let's say that before your big presentation in front of a stadium of people, fear starts to creep in. By forgetting what you want to say, your hands are clammy and your breathing starts to escalate. By just saying out loud, I feel fear because I'm afraid of looking foolish, just by naming it reduces its power. Second, taking slow, deep breaths signals your brain that you are safe. Try the 4 to 7, 8 method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Third is to challenge the sources. Ask yourself, who benefits from my fear? If someone is profiting from your panic, question their motives. An example of this may be fear-based advertising. Often, sellers will try to sell a product just to increase their sales. Next, it's extremely important to limit your exposure to fear-controlling situations. If fear controls you, face it gradually. Are you afraid of public speaking? Start with a small group. Even if it's media exposure, limiting time watching television or a media app will help. For example, ask yourself if watching the media all day will prevent events from happening. There is a difference between being informed on current and important events and being inundated with the shock and awe method that history has shown to be effective. Lastly, ground yourself in the present. Engage your senses. Feel the chair under you. Smell the air. Look at something stable. Fear is often about what-ifs. Grounding helps you focus on what is happening. Placing a very cold bottle of water on the back of your neck could be another simple technique to refocus on your breathing and bring you back to the present moment. Fear is natural. Fear is powerful. But fear does not have to own you. The more you understand it, the more you can break free from its grip. Next week, we will be examining shock and awe and how people use this extreme type of fear to control the masses. Until then, stay aware, stay strong, and as always, stay in control.